Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away and it's time for another marathon build. We haven't done this in ages. So I've got the Fanhome release of the Power Rangers Megazord here. We're going to be doing stages 76 to 92. There's that many. This is going to be fun. Now I've got Zords all over the place. They're all on here, they're behind me here, and I don't know where we're going to end up once we've done all of these stages together. I do know that I'm going to save up the next packs that we get, so we've got one more video. So basically, this is the penultimate video for the Megazord, so not far to go. And I do believe that I've almost got all of those packs now, so hopefully in the next month or so, this is going to be completed. Now, I don't know if this is still available. I have put a link in the video description and we do have the QR code on the screen, but we're going to work through it today. I don't know, is there 20 stages or something in here? We'll find out. Without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, so we're going to start with stage 76 and we're going to be doing the Pterodactyl dinosaur's wings. So we're going to be putting this in here. Obviously, I've got the Pterodactyl here. So all of the Zords in a place where I can get to them. And this is the magazine. Okay, here is stage 76. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be taking one of these wings and I'm going to be putting one of these rods in. Now this rod has a smooth end and then sort of like a ribbed end. It's the ribbed end that goes in last. We want to push that all the way in there. So we've just got a little bit coming out the other side. Now in this bag, we've got some silicone bushes and I'm going to need to put one on each side. So one on this end here and one just on the end here. And it is just going to go on the end like that. Turn over the pterodactyl here and I'm going to want to fit this into the bridge that we've got just there. Just like that. Obviously we want to keep this into place. So first little bracket we're going to be putting in looks like this. Now there is two of these. They're slightly different. These are in different places. So we just need to put this one in here. It's the one that's going to match. And that's going to hold that into place there. On the other side here, I've got its partner, which is one of these smaller pieces here. We want the one that's going to match that shape. I've got some PWM screws. These are metal screws, which are going to hold these into place. So I need two of these. Excellent. And then what we've done on one side, we're going to do on the other. So it's exactly the same thing. We're going to be pushing a rod through here, putting a bush on each end. So one there and one here. Putting this into place on top, like that. Putting these brackets in. And then once again, securing these in with those PWM screws. Excellent. So as you can see, these can now move and open on both sides. Okay. Now, of course, because it's me, I forgot to do something. Just take these back out again. I leave my mistakes in, you know I do. It's not really a mistake, I just forgot to put this in. We need to put this little connection in onto these end pieces, which actually just goes in here, like that. Let me just put this back on and screw that in, and then I'll do the same on the other side. I'd be very disappointed in myself if I didn't make a mistake right at the start. There you go, so they're in as well, and that is all there is to do in that stage. Trying to keep my workstation tidy with so many builds or so many parts I'm doing today. Stage 77, now I'm working on Triceratops dinosaur's body. So we're adding the other side to the body here, looking like this. I've got that here. Look, everything is in grabbing distance. This is the rest of the magazine. Okay, now this was a piece that we were waiting for, which was holding up deliveries, which is why it's in a box, I think, rather than a plastic pack. Make sure everything's taken out here. And I'll get this open. Now, I was trying to figure out how to mount this, and I've just realised that this plate shouldn't actually be attached on here at the moment. Let me just take that off. That was confusing. Okay, what we're going to be doing is placing this on here like this, so that then we've got the two tabs there going through the tracks here. There we go. So that's into place. I'm then going to be bringing over the Triceratops, and I'm going to be putting this into place on here. So again, I'm matching up the holes just on the side here, just like that. And I'm holding them in with PB screws. There is actually some slots in the plastic here which are going to help you line that up. So let's get these in. And once that's in that side, we can now actually put the cover on this side, which was already attached when I got this, so that confused me. We'll push this into place. Excellent. And then again, we've got PB screws. We're going to need 3 of them this time, through the holes inside to hold this in. So one here, and one here. All I've got then is this little white piece here, which is just going to be going onto the side here. I'm probably going to glue that in, because that is a little bit loose in there. Perfect. And we do have all of these parts left over, which we don't actually use in this stage. So stage 78 is the instructions, just one piece here, which we're going to be adding here. It looks like we're going to add some of those details as well. So it's looking like that. This is the rest of the magazine. And get stage 78 open. Did you hear that? That's a massive piece of metal there, looking like that. We don't actually use that though. We're going to bring over what we just got here, and all those bits that we had left over we can now put into place. So we've got this one here is going to clip into here. I don't think I need to glue that because it goes in quite tight. Then I've got some of these trim pieces to put in. So I've got this one here first going in here, and again it's going to be a push in, and then I've got one at this side, and that's pushed in as well. And then I've got these little parts on a sprue here, which I'm just going to cut off. And these are going to go into the channels here. Now I'm thinking these are probably going to need glue in. Let me just try them in. Oh no, they go in quite tight, so don't need to glue these. One here, probably best on the side camera here. One's going to be going in here. Excellent. So that's in just like that. And then we've got this plastic piece just here. You can see where this is going to go. It's going to go on the bottom here, just into the position just here. So pushing that in. Excellent. So that's how that should look when it's in. That's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 79, we're going to be doing more on the other side now, making the tracks for the other side, looking like this. Again, here's the rest of the magazine. Get this open. And what we want to do is we want to take this plastic section that comes here and the metal section that we had before. We're going to be putting this into place first. So this is actually just going to be going over the top here, just like that. Now once that's together, we're going to hold this in with one PWM screw, which is a silver screw here. That's just going to go in this side here. Only held in with one screw. Make sure that's nice and tight. And then on this side here, we've got some covers which are actually on this sprue tree, which I need to cut off. And these are going to be covering these points just here. They're not going to need glue because they go in really tight, as you can see there. So they're in place. I've then got a panel, which is going to go in this side just here, held in from the other side with PWB screws. And we need 2 of these. Now, once that's done, that's in place, put that to one side. We're going to build the tracks. Now, I've already cut these parts off the sprue. But the way this goes together is we're going to have this section here, then this section with the lip on here pointing this direction. Get that into place, and then I'm going to put the track on top. So when it's all together, it should fit flush around that side there. But we are holding this in with PB screws. These are just the normal black screws. And I'm going to need 2 of these. That will keep that into place. We want to put the wheels in here now. So basically we've got the bigger wheels going into the ends here. One there. And one over here. And then the smaller ones are going in the middle. Make sure they're pushed all the way down. They are quite a tight fit in there. Turn this over. And this is actually going to be going into this point here. It's actually going to go into this side, like that. So then obviously this can go up and down. And for that to do that, we've got a guide rail here, which is actually going to cover both sections there. And again, it's held in with a PB screw. So one in this side, just to hold the top of this bracket in. And as long as we've lined up the hole on the track there, put the one in this side as well. So as you can see, this can now go up and down. Okay, that's all there is to do in that stage. Stage 80. We've got one piece here that we're going to be putting in. Nice quick stage, this one. Here's the rest of the magazine. Get this open. It's going to be another metal piece again. Bringing over what we've been working on here. This metal piece, just like we did for this one, is just going to be going in this side here. Line everything up. And I've already opened these silver screws that I'm going to need. And we do need 2 of those, just going into the positions here and here. I also just need 1 at the top here as well. And there you go. With that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. Stage 81. Here we go. We're going to make another track here. And we'll sort of put the claws together here. So that's going to look like that. And again, here is the rest of the magazine. And this time they've taken the fun out of it because they already assembled the track for me, as you can see. So it's all correct. I just need to hold it together with the PB screws, which are these black screws here. So again, 1 each side. That's good. Cut off the wheels from the sprue here. Wheels, they're more like rollers, aren't they? And just push these into place. Excellent. So they're on. And then we're going to do exactly like we just did on this side here, which means that we get to put this in this way round. Put the bracket on that way round. And again, the PB screws to hold these in. And then we're going to be putting some trim panels on. So we've got this panel just here. Don't know if I need glue. I push it in, and if it's a tight fit, I know I'm not going to need glue. And it is a tight fit, so I can leave that one. The panel in here, which is going to go this way round, just pushes in like that. And then we're just going to make one of the claws, which is just a case of putting these 3 silver sections here onto this. Now these are going to need gluing in, so I'm just going to glue those in now. Now I'm also going to put some glue just where this is going to go. So I'm going to put this on here and the other side here and get this into place just like that. I've got a little bit of trim now just to put in the top here, which again, that felt far too loose, so I'm going to need to glue that one in. And finally, I've got a bit of trim that I need to put on the front here, but that one doesn't need glue. That can fit perfectly in there like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. In stage 82, Sabertooth Tiger's Dinozord legs. So we're moving from the Triceratops now to Sabertooth again, putting this together just like this. Excellent. Now we've already done 2 of the legs, so I guess is the back 2 now. Okay, so I need the claws first. Then I need this center pivot, which is going to go over the top of that section just there, like this. So that's how that's going in. And then I want to close it off by putting this back section in over the top of this. And I'm holding all that in with a PWB screw. Now these are the flange screws, the flanged black ones. So that's going to go in through the hole here. Now, in this side here, we have got a joint to put in, which goes in this way, and it's going to be going into this panel just here. I do want that to be all the way down, so push it down so it comes out the side just like that. And then we're going to be linking all of these together. So the way we're linking these together, I need these bushes here, and I'm going to want to put 1 in each side here. So that one's going to go in there, then I'm putting this over the top, turn it over, put 1 in the other side here, like that. And then put this over the top to close that all into place. So when it's together, it should look like that, and this should be able to move just like that. Okay, we need to hold this together again with these flanged PWB screws. So 1 in here, and 1 just from the other side here. And then I just need 1 PB screw, which is just going to be going into the hole that we can see just here to hold this section together. And there we go. That's a nice quick stage. That's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, stage 83. Here's the instructions, and we're still working on his legs now, looking like this. This is a marathon build today, isn't it? And here is stage 83. things to cut off the sprue first. I think I'm going to do that first. That's the silver parts off. Let's just cut these black parts off here. Bring over the leg again. And on this side here, we're going to be wanting to put these covers with the little tab at the top. Just push them into place here. So one there. And one on this side. Just make sure that they are flat in there. That's good. Then I've got covers to put on these. Then I've got these little spindles to put in that we just cut off the sprue. So just get these into place. There is a notch on one side, so we need to match the notch so that can fit flush in there. One there and one here. If it doesn't fit flush, you haven't lined the notch up. So there we go. That's out the other side there. Then I can put these sides in. Again, there is a tab to match this up with. And one this side here. And then I'm holding these in with PB screws. That's going to keep all of these in one piece. Perfect. Then I can put these caps on, which just push into this section. One here and one there. They do hold themselves, but you can glue them, I'm guessing. I've got another little joint section to put in here this way round. And again, make sure that comes out the other side just like that. And we have these parts left over. That's all there is to do in that stage. There was some screws left over there, and I think we might need them as well. So stage 84, here's the instructions. We've got the middle part now that we're adding in. And here's the rest of the magazine. These parts are getting heavy. This is a massive piece of metal by the feel of it. Look at that. It's ginormous. Okay. Ginormous and extremely heavy. Right. Okay, so what we're going to do now, bring back over the leg piece. Okay, first section I need looks just like this. And we're going to be putting the joint section into this section here. It's actually going to go in this way. So when it's in, it's going to kind of, let me get it all the way in. Stand by. It's going to kind of fit flush there, but it can move, as you can see. Excellent. Then I'm going to take what we've created of the leg here. This is actually going to go into this point just here. So that's in like that. And then I'm going to want to match the other side up by putting the joint section here into that slot just there. So get that lined up so that will fit in like that. Nice. PB screw straight through the top here. And then we're going to be mounting this in this massive metal section here, which means basically just putting this into that part just there. Nice. Now that's held in with a PM screw, just one of them. And this screw is actually going into the smaller hole, which is just at the back here. As I said, it's only one screw which is holding this in. Excellent. And with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. Stage 85 is the instructions. Now we're going to Sabertooth Tiger's tail. Wow, putting the tail together like this. Here's the rest of the magazine. And here's all the tail sections. Okay, so this is the first part that we need, and we've got this, I don't know what this is, which is going to be going down the shaft here. So look, this can move like that. Once I've done that, I'm going to actually be putting the other side of this tail on here. So making sure that goes down the channel, just like that. Piece everything together. I've got a PWB screw here, which is going to hold this together. It's only the one screw that we need to hold this together. It goes in here. And now we're going to be putting this into a little bracket here by the look of it. So let's figure out how this goes. So the way this goes, we're going to have this tab or this bit of trim going into this side here, like this. Nice. Then I'm going to be putting this into place. So that's going to sit in just like that. And then I've got the side which says R for the right side, which is actually just going to piece both of these together on each side. So when I push it in, there you go, goes together like that. This can come out and in. That's good. I'm having an enormous amount of fun playing with this, I'll tell you. Okay, then what we're going to do is we've got this part of the towel that we're going to be putting on. There is a notch in here. So this is going to go in here. I think I'm going to need to glue that into place. I can't help myself. I'm either playing or building. And then the only other thing to do is to put this part of the towel into the top here. And again, that's going to need some glue just to keep that into place. And there you go, with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 86, here's the instructions, and we're going back to Sabertooth Tiger's body now. Putting these bits together here. So that's looking like that. Here's the rest of the magazine. Seems like Sabertooth's getting a lot of love in this these few packs. Okay, once again, I'm just going to cut off anything that's on a sprue. And bring over Sabertooth. We haven't seen Sabertooth for some time, but I want him this way round. So this is the section that I'm going to be needing. This is actually going to be going into here kind of like this. Before I push it down though, we are going to be putting the tail in as well. The tail goes with this red side facing down, so we want that to go into the little part there. Just clicks into place, so that then this part can go in here. And I'm matching up this, 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 and these lugs here. Perfect. So I'm holding these in with PB screws just through the top here. And we need 2 of these. Nice. That's looking good. I'm just going to put that over here and bring over this section because I've got these parts that we took off the sprue that I can now put into place. So I've got one just going in here. Again, you can glue them into place if you wanted to. Mine actually fit quite tight. I just open the leg because on the other side we're going to have the same thing here to put in. That goes in there. And then in this hole here I've got this spindled one which will be going in. There is a little ledge for this so this can fit flat, but that's going to go in there like that. I'm now in a position that we can actually put this onto Sabertooth. So just lie that down there and it's going to fit over the top just like that. That fit in perfectly. Once again, I've got PB screws to hold this into place. So one through this hole here, one through this middle hole, and then one just at the top here. The instructions are wrong, just so you know. The instructions are saying put one in here, but there is actually nothing for it to go into there. So that's into place. Obviously the legs can come down. We've got some trim panels to put on. I don't know if these are going to need gluing in. We're going to find out together. So we've got one going in the top here. I haven't glued that in. That goes in quite tight. Then I've got this semicircular one, which is going to go here. Again, that's a really tight fit. Then I've got this massive piece, which is going to go along the side here. Takes a lot to clip that in, but there you go. That's in place. And I've got one little trim panel to go in there. Nice. So is that Sabertooth complete? Let me just stand him up. That's looking pretty cool. I think something needs to go on top. I'm not sure, but that's looking pretty cool. That's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 87, we've got the front left leg of the Mastodon dinosaur now. So we are moving to another Zord, looking like this. If I can say one thing about this build, I never in a million years expected it to be this big. It is absolutely ginormous. Okay, so we're going to be taking the part, well, we're starting to build the leg here for the Mastodon. And what I need to do first is just take this section here, and I'm going to be putting this just into the point here. There is a trough, so this can only fit in one way. It's going to sit in just like that. It's held in with a PM screw. Now, if I've learned anything, if it's just 2 letters, it's a normal screw. If it's 3, it's a flange screw. This is just a normal screw going in here. I've got a bush, which is going to go into there, just like that. Which then puts me in a position to put this piece on. I want it this way round. And it's just going to go over the top like that. And this is when it's held in with the flanged PWM screw. There's already a thread locker on this screw. So let's get this all the way in. Perfect. And that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 88, again, it looks like we're doing exactly the same thing on this one. And here's the rest of the magazine. And it is exactly the same thing. Again, use the trough on this section to put this on here. A normal silver PM screw to screw that into place. Now, unfortunately, I've just had to look through all my instructions, but I am missing a bush. I need a bush. which I haven't got, unfortunately. I'm going to have to rely on the resistance of the bush on the other side to help me here, because without that bush, it's going to be a little bit loose. But we will get this in. It's going to go in this way, just like that. And again, we want one of the flange screws here to hold this into place. There's quite a bit of resistance there, actually, so I think we're going to be okay. Nice. And that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 89, here's the magazine. Still working on this leg. Looking like that. Here's the rest of the magazine. Quite a small pack, this one. And first thing we've got is this little joint section here, which is actually going to be going in this way on here, like that. But it's going to be held in with screws from this side, which are PWM screws. So these are the silver metal screws here, and we need 4 of these. There you go, that's all of those in. And then on this other piece here, which looks like this, I've got this thing going in. I don't know what this is. I need to make sure I put it in the right way. So the way they've got this is they've got it exactly as I've just put it in there. This is held in with the black screws. These are the PWB screws. And we're going to need 3 of these. And then I want to bring over the Mastodon body. We haven't seen this for some time. And in this section just here, if I turn this around, it's quite tight. I need to put in this little joint section. So that's going to go in this way. And I want it to fit quite far in there, just like that. And there you go. With that in place, that is all there is to do in that stage. I'm sniggering to myself because even with all the space that I've got on this workstation, I'm quickly running out of it. Okay, stage 90. Here's the instructions. And we're still working on this Mastodon leg here. So that's looking like that. Here's the rest of the instructions. Okay, I want to take this part of the leg with this sort of joint in it. And what we're going to be doing is attaching this panel just here. It's actually going to go on this way, just like that. So that's going to go on there. We do want to hold this in with PWM screws again. So these are the flanged silver screws here. We need 4 of these. Excellent. That's how that's looking. And as you can see, it can turn and in all directions. Okay, bring over this part here, and we've got a joint to put in here again. So this is the joint. It's just a case of putting this in. Make sure that's seated all the way in. And then this is going to be going onto this bracket just here. So if I have these notches here facing down, this is going to be going in this way, just like that. So we can see the bolt side on this side here. Held in with a PB screw, just through this side here. And then at the side of this, I've got these little panels here to put on. So I'm going to want one to go on this side, like this. Quite a tight fit in there, but it's held on with a flanged PWB screw. These are the bigger of the flange screws. There's actually 2 lots of PWB screws here. We want the bigger flanged ones. Excellent. Do the same on the other side. That's good. Bring over what we've been creating here, and I'm going to want to seat this way round, just in here like that. And then I want to close it off by putting the other side here over the top of the whole thing. Okay, PWB screws. These are the smaller of the flange screws now. That's good. And all I've got then is the trim panels now to hide the screw holes. So that one goes in there. And then this clip is actually going to be going in here. It's going to sit just like that for now. That's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, recording time is 1 hour 20 minutes, and this is the penultimate stage I'm doing today. So just a small piece here to do, looking like this. We are going to attach this to the Mastodon though. So it looks like the Mastodon's pretty much completed as well. Okay, here's the rest of the magazine. So not many parts in this, but obviously we are piecing all of this together now. So the way they've got this, I want to rotate this around this way, like this. So I've got clearance for this section just here. Because what I want to do is take this section just here. I'm going to be putting this into place. So this actually goes into the point here. I might have to just bend this around a bit so that I've got better access to get this in. And I do want that to go all the way in there. Excellent. Okay, this metal section we got here, I'm going to bring over what we've got of this section, and I need to put this into place. This actually just slots in to the point just there at the top. Let's get this all the way in. Going to take some wiggling, I think. And then I'm going to want to match that with this side just here. Now, anyone who tells you that's easy to put in, they're lying to you. That was quite hard. That took me like 10 minutes to get that in there. I need PWB screws, just 2 of these, to keep this from going anywhere now. Okay, by having it this way round, I can get a screw through the holes here, so I can screw this into place. So I need one here. You have to line them up, otherwise you won't get access to that screw hole. And then I've got the same at the top here. That'll screw these 2 panels in the center into place. Excellent. And now that's fitted in place, and I'm hoping that is exactly how it's supposed to look. I think it is. I'm going to leave it just like that. But wow, there's certainly a lot going on here. I've got no idea how this goes, but I'm guessing it's looking kind of like that. Now, I was going to do up to stage 92, but we're actually starting the Megazord now. So it's moving on to something fresh. So I think leaving it at stage 91 is probably the place to actually leave this now. I think that makes sense. But obviously, look, this is how big this is. I can't believe how big this is. Obviously, Sabertooth that we've seen looks like this. So we've been working on that today. We've also worked on Triceratops, where he's got half the side done at the moment. And obviously we've done the tracks for the other side as well. So I'm guessing we're putting that together soon. These are big. And then obviously we started with the pterodactyl wings. What a build. Anyway, I will make sure I get all the packs together and we'll do one more video, which will be the final lot of this build and the completed model. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.